Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user PantWearer123. My 30 male girlfriend, 32 female of 6 months, has changed her behavior recently and I want to leave. So I met her earlier this year. We were fast friends within a month of meeting and dating after a month. We've been official for 6 months or so. Met her on a night out with some friends. We live separately, but she spends a lot of time at my house as it's nearer to where she works. Our relationship started really nicely. I felt like we just got on really well and she was very supportive of me as well. But recently, she's been quite pushy about me making changes to my lifestyle and seems angry and disappointed with the results. The two big ones are my work and what I wear. As for my work, I work at the same store I've worked at since I was 16. It's just an easy job, pays my bills, and I know how to do everything there. I'm basically a manager without the responsibility of actually being a manager, as I don't want that level of responsibility for no extra pay. I also make money via stocks and cryptocurrencies, so I don't struggle for money. As for what I like to wear, I have many jumpers and t-shirts of an emo band my friends and I loved when we were young. I genuinely have like 50 or so that I wear a lot because it makes me happy and doesn't hurt anyone either. I admit, I have a bit of a problem with anxiety. Familiarity helps me with it. Some family thinks I might have OCD, but I've never been diagnosed. A few weeks ago, my girlfriend expressed frustration with my clothes, saying I need to grow up and get new ones. She spends a lot of money to get whatever clothes are in fashion. I don't have a problem with that, as it's her money to spend and she isn't hurting anyone, but I don't know why she has a problem with my clothes. The argument was big but resolved, and we went shopping and bought me some new clothes. They are actually quite nice and I like wearing them too. A few days later, I was wearing a band t-shirt again because the new clothes were in the wash and she was really angry about it. I explained the new clothes were in the wash and it wasn't decided that I'd completely stop wearing the band stuff. She wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the day. The next day, she had cooled off and explained that she thinks new clothes will help me grow as a person. We talked a long time and I eventually agreed to get rid of the band clothes. While I was packing them up, I started crying and she called me stupid and I asked her to leave. She came back a few hours later and we made up. I packed the boxes into my car and told her I was gonna donate them. She was really pleased and said I was making the right choice getting rid of them. I didn't donate them. I took them to work and I'm keeping them there until further notice. My boss was confused but understanding. I got back home and she'd ordered me lots of new clothes. She told me she understands it was upsetting, but I'd be better off for it. That night, a few hours later, she wanted to talk about my work and why I'm not a manager. I explained to her that I don't want to be. She's been distant and only talks about how I should ask to be a manager. I've explained what I don't want to be and that I wouldn't even be paid more, nor is there a need for it at the store. She just keeps saying that I need to fight for a pay rise as well so I can treat us to nice things. I told her that isn't how it works and that I make money in other ways and that she has her own money too, so it shouldn't matter. She shouted at me that I'm useless and stormed out. My boss also told me she called the store and asked him why I'm not a manager. After being upset and feeling useless for a few hours, I decided that I don't want to be with her. I realized I don't see my friends as much as I used to because she likes to spend all our free time just us. I just don't feel happy with her anymore and it feels like she actually acted differently when we started out just to get close to me. She even said she loved all the band stuff when I first showed her. I think she may be right that the new clothes might help a bit. I genuinely appreciate that and like how I look in some of the clothes we bought. But I also liked how I looked in the band stuff and still think it wasn't over the top. I'd normally just wear jeans and a t-shirt or jumper anyway. I don't think it's as ridiculous as she said it was. I just thought of it as a wearable collection. People collect weirder things. As well as this, I really don't like that I lied to her about donating the band stuff. It felt horrible and dishonest. My boss and colleagues could tell something was off when I took the boxes into work. I try to be honest as I don't want to upset people. Well, in my opinion, there's two things here. One is that you're some sort of a project to her and that she, air quotes, has to improve you. And two, you both are clearly incompatible and want different things. For starters, it sounds to me like she is the ambitious type of person that really wants more all the time and isn't happy with what is. Or maybe happy is not the right word, maybe it's satisfied. And you seem to be a lot more happier when you're just within your comfort zone. Now, this relationship would be okay if she was accepting of who you are, but she clearly isn't and needs to change you. And this is why she's so pushy regarding getting rid of the clothes that you like, getting new clothes, and also getting a new position. And I have to say, it's incredibly creepy that she called your boss to ask why you're not a manager. Anyway, that's why I believe that you guys are absolutely incompatible. And from what you've written in your post, you've reached the same conclusion, so you should do something about it. I do get the impression that you're the type of person that doesn't deal well with confrontation, but in this case, you have to do it. Of course, I could be wrong, but that's my perception. And what about you guys? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Red Dress 999 says, "Yes, I think you are right to break up with her. She crossed all sorts of lines in my opinion. It's fine that she made some suggestions on clothing and even that she expressed that she preferred that while in public, but asking you to get rid of them altogether? Or to not wear it while lounging around the house or at the gym or doing yard work type of thing? That's crossing the line into controlling. It's okay for her to ask about your position at work, but calling your boss? That's a major line she crossed there. That's completely unacceptable. She was treating you like a child. That's highly disrespectful. It takes two people to decide to be in a relationship. It takes one to decide to break up. When you go to have the conversation, just remember that you aren't asking for her permission or for her to agree. You are simply informing her of your decision. Personally, I'm not a fan of the in public advice unless you feel she may be violent. Just get together with her when you can, inform her of your decision, give her a few minutes, maybe 10 or 20, to ask questions as needed, and then cut it off. The whole conversation need not last more than 20 minutes. Mariner says, "I think your response to all of this was completely reasonable. You opened yourself up to her suggestions and to try new things, and you kept your boundaries about not wanting to enter a management position at your store. I think you have a healthy viewpoint on yourself, your life, and what makes you happy. The fact that she called your work to complaint without telling you is a major red flag. When you end things, I would just suggest that you stay focused on the fact that you are willing to change and try new things, while she was hardline and disrespectful of your choices. Someone who really cares about you would behave more like you did, seeking compromise. It is going to be uncomfortable, but you can do it. If she becomes angry, ask her to leave or leave the situation yourself, but don't waver over the fact that the relationship is over. I would strongly suggest going no contact after the breakup so that she cannot manipulate you out of your decision." And OP responds, "Thanks for your advice and your compliments. I really appreciate both. I know she's had several red flags and I am decided that I want to break up with her. I'm more worried about what she'll do or do to people around us and if and how I can stop that. No contact is seeming likely. I miss making my own choices about stuff and seeing my friends." New Death Sensation says, "There have been some good points made in this thread, but a lot of people seem to have missed the fact that she called your job to harass your boss. Your partner took it upon themselves to harass your boss on your behalf. This is not a small thing and it's wildly inappropriate. It seems like you didn't have much trouble from your boss, but it could have gone very differently." Alright, well, the community absolutely agrees with OP, the relationship must end, and they gave him some pretty solid advice. So now, let's move on to the update to see how OP did it. Some things I want to address first. I work at the same place I have done for years because of my anxiety. I know how to do everything at my job and it helps me feel grounded and not worry. When I said I'm basically a manager, I mean that I do sometimes fill in shifts and responsibilities for them, and we have talked about me officially being a manager before, but it's not what I want. I don't want to take my work home with me and never be able to switch off like I see some of them do. That said, I do want to have some more ambition in my life going forward, and I'm going to be looking at other ventures. My clothes. My band clothes are now back at my house. I still have the new clothes we bought as I paid for a lot of them and plan to continue wearing them too. I can see what she meant by wanting me to wear new clothes, I just didn't like her end goal or the way she went about it. For the people thinking I dress like those goth people dancing under a bridge, I don't. It's usually just a band tee or jumper with some normal jeans. I'm not a teenager, just a 30-year-old who still loves the same band. Haha, no hate to those dancing goths, I love that meme. Okay, so on to the main story. I took advice from some of the responses to the original post. We live separately, so there weren't any issues with leases, but I did change my logs as I had given her a key a few months ago. As for the breakup, it didn't go well, but it did go at least. I was at home thinking of how to do it, which cafe or restaurant I was gonna do it in, etc. She finished work and came to my place without any prior discussion. Not out of the ordinary, to be fair. Anyway, she could tell something was off, and because I'd been thinking about it all for hours, I was 150% sure I wanted to do it, so I just did it here instead. I first told her that I had lied about donating my clothes and that I'd actually taken them to work instead. She was angry and calling me a liar and everything. I apologized for it and tried to explain that I felt a lot of unfair pressure to get rid of them when I didn't really want to, and my collection wasn't hurting anyone. I don't really feel that the argument was fair, and I feel that her actions made me lie to her, but I hate saying stuff like that, so I just left it and moved on. Then I told her I was really annoyed about her calling my boss. She said she was sorry, but I should be a manager. I said that's okay, and she looked confused, but accepted it, I guess. Then I just said I didn't want to be with her anymore because she actually had given me a second to speak. She looked shocked and asked me what I meant. I just said I didn't want to be with her anymore and that I wanted her to leave and would be changing my logs but was open to calling or messaging about picking up her stuff. She said stuff like we don't have to break up, but I kept saying my mind is made up and technically we already had. She called me pathetic as she walked out the door and slammed it behind her. I haven't heard from her, but I sent her a message about picking up her stuff. There isn't much of it here, so maybe she doesn't want to? Anyway, since then, I called my boss to explain the situation and be wary of any contact from her. We've worked together for years and we're good friends, so he was very understanding and said if I needed help in any way, he'll try to provide it. We go for drinks often with other colleagues, so I'll explain it all to them there probably. As for me, as I said above, I do want to work on myself a bit. Partly because of the things she said, but not for the same reasons. Just for me to grow a bit in terms of work experience and fashion sense. I'll be buying more smart casual clothes to wear as well. I don't think I'll ever fully stop wearing the band clothes though, hahaha. I don't quite know what I want to do in terms of work, but I have the experience of teamwork and leadership from the store, which I think is usable and transferable to other jobs too. I'm feeling weird but okay. It feels great to have acted decisively. I haven't felt sad yet, not happy either, just relieved mostly. Some of her stuff is still here and it feels weird to see it knowing it'll never be that way again. I don't know how to describe that feeling. Anyway, I've spoken to friends about it and will be seeing them soon. I don't know what she's been up to or what she'll do. Not sure if I want to. There's nothing left for me with her anyway. I just wanted to thank everyone for their kind words in the original post. It felt really good to know I wasn't being treated fairly and I wasn't just being stupid like she said. Some even messaged me with similar stuff or how much they liked their partners with similar habits to my band clothes, which were really nice. One of the reasons I still wear the band tees is sometimes other fans spot them and will have a nice conversation about it and always end the conversation smiling. It's just nice. Well, OP, to me this is a positive update. 1, you get out of a toxic relationship, and 2, apparently you're gonna push your boundaries a little bit and try to move away from your comfort zone, expanding your circle. That's always good, that's growth. So congratulations on that one. Anyway, thanks for sharing and all the best in this new adventure. Take care. Now, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Petty Revenge and it's by user Living Newspaper 3773. Classic toilet paper situation. My roommate has never replaced the toilet paper onto the actual dispenser. And by never, I mean that in the 5 months I've lived with him, without fail, he has left it there for someone else to do every single time. At first, I just put it on the dispenser because it happens sometimes, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Then I started leaving it there, thinking that he'd get the message. He never did. This is a common theme across many domains. There are some things that he just doesn't do or know how to do out of ignorance, lazy, or lack of care. I honestly felt a little bad for him and just let the toilet paper thing go. The mild annoyance turned into an actual problem when one day I bought toilet paper and left it on the staircase to take upstairs. I ended up going to sleep, and the next morning I went to take my post-coffee poop. I reached for toilet paper and it's not there. I reach behind me for the backup roll that we keep on top of the toilet. It's not there. There's no toilet paper in the bathroom and he had just used it before leaving for work. So, after I deal with things, I take the toilet paper on the staircase and put it in my closet. The next day, I hear cursing and whisper shouts from the hallway. He's mad, running around the house, slamming drawers and looking for toilet paper everywhere. He really can't believe that there isn't any when he needs it. He's basically throwing a full-blown tantrum out in the hallway now. He sent a text in the group message asking about the toilet paper he saw on the staircase the other day, and due to his reaction, I say I don't know where it is. The cursing escalates and he screams, "I saw it on the staircase!" and "You a-holes!" I send another message to the chat. Please replace the toilet paper if there isn't any in the bathroom. And he loses it, shouting, "F you, I buy toilet paper all the time." Which, 1, is beside the point, and 2, untrue. He finally went out and bought some. I just sat in my room quietly laughing at his tantrum and realizing we were out of toilet paper before he even used the toilet. After he left, I put the toilet paper in the downstairs bathroom, and when he asked our roommate later, he told him it was there. Immature? Maybe. I feel like it's just a natural consequence of rude behavior that's been previously tolerated. OP's edit. To clarify, the intention wasn't to make him question his reality about there ever being toilet paper. I did feel bad about this potentially happening. I just decided to keep the rolls that I bought in my closet for personal use. And his terrible reaction, cursing me out and screaming, the second he didn't have any for his own use, resulted in me not wanting to give it to him. I didn't deny there being any. Yeah, OP, I'm with you. Your roommate sounds like an ass. Good petty revenge. Thanks for sharing. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.